Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche, and I'm excited to be here with Ed Pike, who is retired from the DNR and a board chair of the Mackinac Straits Raptor Watch. And he's going to tell us a little bit about that organization's mission and values and the kind of data they collect.
Okay, Martha said I'm with the Mackinac Straits Raptor Watch. We're documenting the raptor migration, mostly the raptor migration through the Straits of Mackinac. We do spring and fall counts. We do migration counts of the raptors, both the hawks, eagles, owls, any of the raptors that are migrating through the straits. And we do it right now in the fall, we're doing it here on Point LaBarbe, which is a nice location to see a lot of different birds moving through.
We're just west of St. Ignace?
Yes, just west of St. Ignace, just west of the I-75 bridge coming across the straits. We started the Raptor Watch to document the birds that are migrating through here because it had never been documented previously in any form. And so we started doing the documentation by counting the raptors that are moving through. That's our primary mission at this point, with this additional education type component that we include to try and educate the public, people in general, about the migration through the straits. Prior to our work, there was little work that had been done here of an extensive type work covering the entire migration period. There were anecdotal comments and notes about raptors migrating through the straits, but nothing had ever been documented. So in 2014, we established the Mackinac Straits Raptor Watch, myself and a number of other people. And we started the Raptor Watch. We've got a lot of support from the general public, and that has helped us be able to hire counters to do the actual counts for us. And then we have volunteers that also assist with the counts, and people that stop in and view the raptors. Hopefully today's not a real good day for it. They're really high and
it's windy.
It's windy and they're getting blown to the east today. But we are seeing quite a few bald eagles and turkey vultures and sharp-shinned hawks, a few red tails moving through the area here.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about the types of data that you collect and then how those are, shared or used?
The types of data, we do counts for every day that the weather's good for the hawk count. And we do the counts on an hourly basis.
Okay.
Each hour the counter records the total number of birds that are going through, and then that's totaled at the end of the day. Okay. We also have a waterbird counter that counts the waterbirds moving through the straits. We're doing alternate counts now to cover the straits better because the straits are so wide, you can't see everything that's in the straits.
Sure.
And so we're doing a count at McGulpin Point on one day, and then on the next day we do a count at Grand Point here, just on the east side of the Mackinac Bridge, in St. Ignace.
Mm-hmm. And I was reading on the website, you share that data with the Hawk Migration Association of North America? That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. The hawk counts that we do are posted daily on what is called Hawk Counts. It's .org.
Okay.
It's a website, I guess it's a website of the Hawk Migration Association of North America.
Okay.
They maintain it, and it has records for all of the hawk counts across the continent. Mm-hmm. And we include ours within that, so that hopefully at some point the data will be able to be used by potentially other organizations or any people that want to utilize the the data to do comparisons with other count sites around the Great Lakes and across the country.
Okay.
Our counts basically are describing the total numbers of numbers of species and individuals that are flying across the straits, but we can't make any obvious decisions about what's going on with the populations with short-term data. A count like this requires long-term data collection.
Are we talking decades?
Well, a minimum of 10 years just to get a little bit of indication as to what the birds are doing as far as their populations, their numbers. There's so many little things that can affect the migration on a yearly basis, such as weather.
Yep.
Weather can make a big difference on how the migration happens on each year. And so you need that long-term data to really be able to make some predictions or decisions about what's going on, and then comparing it also with other count sites in the country or around the Great Lakes region.
Right. Yep.
There are not a lot of count sites right in the Great Lakes area, the northern Great Lakes area, but there are a few, and some comparisons can be made.
Okay. Nice. And can you talk a little bit about how the public can get involved with your group?
The public is welcome to stop by and view the hawks. We try and we have our counter here daily, and we try and have people that are somewhat knowledgeable about their hawks and migration, and help people identify them and count them. Our hawk counter, his primary duty is to count the hawks. So we try and have other people there to talk with people that are coming to see the hawks. And if you come on a good day, you can see a lot of hawks.
Yeah.
And they're low. You get some real good looks at them.
Sure. And those raptor naturalists are mostly on the weekends, like mid-September through mid-October.
Yes.
Is a great time to come visit.
Yes, that's the peak of migration.
Okay.
Or fall migration, we start August 20th and go through November 10th.
Okay.
You start before the migration really starts, so that you can pick up all the birds that are moving through. The other thing that we've learned is that different species have different periods during the fall when they migrate through the straits. So it depends on what you want to see, or if you just want to see a lot of raptors in flight. Like you said, mid-September through about mid-October is the peak of the migration for all species.
Nice. And then for the waterbird count sites, that's more of a sunrise to 10 a.m.
Yes, that's
a morning window.
The hawk count is middle of the day. It's I always say banker's hours for the hawk count. You can get here in the morning about 10 o'clock, and by 3 or 4 o'clock, the migration is pretty well done. For the waterbird count, yes, that's early morning. Our counter starts at daylight, and he counts for 6 hours. And by that time, the waterbirds are pretty much done moving. They're still around, but the migration kind of settles down for the day by around noon to 2 o'clock. Okay. Depends on the weather, of course, too, the same thing.
And I understand you're also doing nighttime owl survey or banding, but you would ask that sort of people make an appointment to come see that, so you know. And
yes, we have specific days when we have groups out, various groups out to view the owls, or hopefully view the owls. It's the same thing. You never know what the migration's going to do from day to day. We're actually doing surveys of the owls, trying to determine how many owls of which species are moving through the Straits area. But to survey, you can't. It's not like the hawks, obviously. It's all nighttime. Many of the species of owls are strictly nocturnal. Right. Like the one we catch the most of are saw-whet owls. They're just a small little owl, very, very small. There are actually a good number of them, a large number of them that migrate through here, but they're rarely seen just to view them. And so we put up nets and use mist nets to capture them to get an idea of the numbers of owls that are moving through.
Sure.
And while we have them in hand, we band them to learn a little more information about them. I'm a licensed bander through the Fish and Water, it's through the U.S. Geologic Survey.
Right.
And so I'm licensed to band, and so that's what we're doing, is banding the owls that we capture.
And then folks can donate on the website, it looked like, and on Amazon Smile, and then it looks like you had some volunteer opportunities on different committees I saw on the website too.
Yes, potentially, depends on the interest. If somebody has some knowledge or is interested in learning about the raptor migration, we can always use extra volunteers at the Hawk Watch to actually talk with and educate a little bit other people about the raptors that are moving through, because we get some people that stop that have very little, if any, knowledge about the raptors that are in migration. And it does take a lot of practice to be able to identify them up in the sky in flight.
Yes.
And once we learn that, it's helpful to help other people pick them out and see what they are or know what they are. And we have some handouts also that we give people to be able to help a little bit more learn about the identification of the individual birds that are moving through.
Yeah, very nice. Well, Ed, thank you so much for your time and telling us about this awesome group.
Thank you.
We wish you luck with your fall counts.
And yes, I agree with, we are strictly a nonprofit organization, and we pay our counters by donations from a lot of individuals. We get a few small grants to help offset the costs, but most of it comes from donations from individuals. And so any support would be greatly appreciated.
I will drop the website link in our YouTube description.
That would be great.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by.